Welcome back to Solving Problems with SiteWorks. This is Mike Bernard, SiteTech Northeast. This is part 5 of our small commercial site. Last video, we finished all our contouring, making our surface. We put in our edge of pavement. We have our building. Next thing I want to show you is how we're going to get to compare our existing conditions to this surface. So first thing we're going to do is we have to save this surface as a design. So we're going to come to our hamburger menu, data management, surface as design. We're going to call this infield V1, and we're going to include our measured line work and accept. We'll just use our outermost points for this. Use outermost points. There we go. So now we come to our hammer menu, project setup, change project, and there's our V2 right there. So what we can do is when we put this V2 in here, which is our actual design, we can change our work order back to our existing conditions, V2. That should give us our 2 surfaces that we need. It should give us our finished grade surface, which we just created, and we can now see all these red lines are represented by the break lines, and the green line is our feature line for our edge of pavement. Come over here. Right, we can see our finished grade. If I come to here and I change this to my measured surface, we can see our existing ground. And remember, we had put this volume boundary around here, so if I come into my hamburger menu, COGO, review and edit data, already I have a compute volume. So if I hit this compute volume of my existing conditions, I can change this stockpile measured to design. Volume direction, our existing conditions to our design. When I hit accept, okay, because it just went out a little bit, there we go. Here's our total cut and our total fill over this entire site right now. And we did this basically, we'll say within an hour. Full setup and stuff, we get back into the truck or whatever and we start clicking away. That's going to be our most time-consuming thing. And doing the existing conditions topo, takes a little bit depending on what the site looks like, but all done in the field, morning of setup to confirm what we needed to confirm. We come in here, we can save this report, field volume, right? We could take pictures if we wanted, save that. Now we have all that data we just did. Right? So what I want to also show you is I did actually get on TBC and model this as well. So if I come into here, we're going to change our project. We're going to go back to our infield, the ones we just clicked through, and then we're going to go to our TBC as well. Right? So now we're going to have our infield design and our TBC design, and we're going to just look and see what the difference between the two is. So this is our infield and TBC overlaid on top of each other. If we come into here, this first design model that you're seeing right here, this is our TBC one, right? We have a little bit more triangulation happening. If we come into our manholes, they're probably perfectly circular, right? We got a little bit smoother of curves, but overall, if I change it between this one to our measured surface, we're looking similar. Right, I'll just click through one more time. This is the design, right? We have a little bit more triangulation happening. Right, the biggest thing is on the building, you can see all the triangulation. If I come back to our measured, a little bit less, but we're not seeing any massive changes. What we can do is we can compare these two as well. So right now our work order is still that same infield one. So we're going to come in here, and in order to compare the two, we got to actually make a volume boundary. So we're going to hit here, we're going to create a volume boundary. I like to call it VB. You can call it whatever your heart desires. And I'm just going to click these points because this is what I want to try to triangulate to. Right? And it is a little tedious because you're going to have to click if you want an accurate representation. You do have to click the outermost points. So bear with me for 1 minute and we're gonna click through some of these real quick. That's why it's nice to have a mouse. You can do it with your finger or stylus like we had talked about before. Whoop. Back out, come to here, come to there. Right, and make sure you're getting these outermost points because it's all part of that design surface. And back in. Right, we can see right here, contour is a little bit different. But I guess how much is too early to tell. All right, then we'll close it. Now we have a volume boundary. Now we can come into our hamburger. Whoop, Kogo, review and edit. Click that volume boundary, and we're gonna go measure to design. And it's a little bit outside. So there we go. We've got a 12-yard difference. So less than a dump truck. Now, part of that could be because of where our volume boundary overlaid some of these contours, especially over here. We can see the red ones, right? We're missing it a little bit on our design. But overall, 10, 12 yards, less than a dump truck's different. If we had spent maybe a little more time clicking a little bit tighter, we probably could have got it a little bit more accurate. But between a design that took us in the office and if we're gonna just slam it out in field, you can see the ease of use there. Thank you for watching. We will follow up with maybe some storm runs or something. If you have questions, comments, please leave them or send them.